That's nice. But how? How does giving to the general fund make disciples? How does paying for lights and cables, trucks and trailers, speakers and staff actually make disciples? What does that even look like? What does it sound like? Well, it kind of sounds like this. And it looks like this.
That's it. Only about 200 screws to go and then I can break for tea.
It may seem small at first, like this one rolling case, but you're not looking at the whole picture.
Average of 16 cases per site, and 18 sites. Ends up being a lot of road cases I look after.
All those cases, just like all the trailers, equipment, staff, and volunteers, help us make disciples by making Sunday mornings happen. Just like Ian helps make Sunday mornings happen. But Ian's only half the story. Because there's also you, and me, and other people. People like Vivian. You might think Vivian and Ian live in two different worlds. You won't catch Vivian fixing a road case or soldering cables. And our Sundays don't usually include a 5 a.m. wake-up call.
We probably want to leave the house at 8:30.
That's not to say she doesn't volunteer. Vivian is a regular part of the setup team.
Being part of the volunteer team has been amazing. And it's just a way of just being active.
But it's not just volunteering. There's more. Every Sunday morning, something happens that brings Vivian and Ian's seemingly different worlds together.
Giving to God is giving through the church, or vice versa. You give through the church to give to God. You just build this trust with the church, and if you feel like you believe in their mission and what they're putting their money in towards, then you don't feel like you're just giving money to some stranger. You're actually giving it to family.
When it comes to family, Ian is like that talented uncle who can fix just about anything.
I consider myself a resource for the volunteers and for the lead pastors and weekend service producers. Everything I do during the week, from changing tires to soldering cables to designing and building new sound systems, fixing cases, those all make Sunday morning happen.
Turns out Ian's Sunday morning may not be all that different from Vivian's.
But you know what? We gotta get going. It's getting late.
I'm on my way to downtown Toronto today. We'll hang out with the tech and setup volunteers. I love what I do. I've always been a person that enjoys just working in the background. I feel like I can praise God with both my heart and my hands. And knowing that in a small way that's helped somebody on a Sunday morning find their way to a service or listen to Bruxy's message. There's a lot of little pieces that need to be in place to make that Sunday morning service happen.
It's great to know that your giving impacts others, but let's not forget, giving also shapes us.
Definitely impacts it by making you feel like you're more involved, because you're not, aside from being there and giving time, you're also giving financially as well. It's my way of saying thank you to God for everything He's given me, and I'm going to give to the church in my way of giving to you. When I felt how involved the meeting house was with its people, with its volunteers, with the people who came to church, and seeing what the money goes to, it kind of gives you a good feeling knowing that, okay, if I actually contribute to this church, it is actually going to go somewhere where it's needed. It's really important to believe in the thing that you're giving to. The meeting house is pretty much like family. It is family. It's become a family. And how you would contribute to your own family, why wouldn't you contribute to your church family?
Some may say the general fund is the boring fund. It just pays the bills. It doesn't have amazing stories or heartwarming pictures like the other funds. But that couldn't be further from the truth. The general fund is something we are all connected to. It makes all those pieces that we need to exist come together. Giving to the general fund is what creates those amazing kingdom moments, where our seemingly different worlds collide. And it happens every Sunday morning. So when you ask, how does giving to the general fund make disciples? I'll say this. This is how we make disciples.